All right, let's just blast these out. We have, when we have a kite like this, we're going to have symmetrical, uh, we're going to have symmetry running along this middle line, okay? In case you couldn't see that, I don't know when I deleted it if you see it. This line right here, we're going to have symmetry. So if this is 45, then the angle, measure of angle 3 is also 45 degrees, okay? We always know that kites form 90-degree angles at their diagonals. Their diagonals are um, perpendicular, so we get 90 degrees there. And of course, if we have 90 and 45 in this triangle right here, then what remains for the other angle is 45. That's what we get. Okay, so let's do number 19 below it. And what we get there is we get that 90-degree angles. So for angle 1 right there, that's going to be a 90-degree angle. And angle 3 is also going to be a 90-degree angle. That's just the way that it works. So we've got 90 degrees there. And 90 degrees there. Just remember, diagonals form 90-degree angles. Okay, well, if this is 64, then this is 64 as well. If this is 64, then this is 64 as well. And so what does that leave for here? Well, we have to do 90 minus 64, because we know that angle 1 is 90. So that leaves 90 for the other two. So if we write 90 minus 64, we get 26 degrees. So measure of angle 2, 26 degrees. Okay, moving on, we have angles 1 and 3 are both those angles there. What we need to do is say, well, okay, if this angle is 90, then these two have to sum to 90 as well. And so what will it be when you do 90 minus the 35 that we already know? And we get 55 degrees. That's what angle 4 and angle 2 are both going to be, because there's symmetry, as I said. So 55 degrees for angle number 2, and 55 degrees for angle number 4. And moving on to the last one, we can see that angles 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're all going to be where the diagonals meet, and so therefore they're always going to be 90-degree angles. So 90, 90, 90, and 90. Okay? And then we say if this one is 34, then 6 must also be 34. Really, these aren't hard, you just got to know what aligns with what. Okay? And what's next? Well, if 34 degrees and this angle number 9 have to be the other 90, since 1 is 90, that's the sum to 180. So we can do 90 minus 34. And we get 56 degrees. So that's what angle 9 is going to be. And so therefore, 56 degrees. We know that because angle 9 is the same as angle 7 will also be 56 degrees. Now, I'm going to erase this calculation here because we don't need it anymore. And we do need that space because we're going to look over here and we're going to say this angle is 46. So what do we know about angle 5? You know that angle 5 must also be 46. And angle 10 is whatever you get when you do 90 minus the 46 here, because these two, since this is a right angle, the other two non-right angles will have to sum to 90. So we can say 90 minus 46. By the way, if you can do it in your head, great. I'm doing the calculations so that you can see them. Okay, and that's 44 degrees. And so the measure of angle 10 is 44 degrees. And since angle 10 and angle 8 are symmetrical, angle 8 is also 44 degrees. And although that's a bunch of looking and calculating, there's nothing particularly difficult about it. I hope you can make sense of all of that. You need to know that diagonals are perpendicular, so that they're forming right angles, and so the angles need to, the remaining angles in the right triangle need to sum to 90. And of course, sorry about that. These angles will be the same because of the symmetry. These angles will be the same as these angles, and these angles will be the same. Yep, that's all.